I guess we could start here, and Ewok, you can get involved and take whatever direction you want to too. But I just want to start, I guess, with Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course. And you just said it, Axis, about so we have the new ETF from ETH trading live. So far, it's not like there's been a huge sell-off, but a sell the news event overall. And you mentioned it right there. I mean, huge inflows or outflows, I guess you should say, of Grayscale selling ETH right now. And despite that, the price really not tanking. So maybe it isn't totally a sell the news event, and maybe ETH is actually kind of bullish on this and absorbing some big hits. But let's kind of start there. What are your overall thoughts of how, first off, just the fact that we are here, just the fact that we do have an ETH ETF that's live.
Wow, it used to be the dream, right? We'd have ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, it was the dream to get there, and here we are now. We have it for the top two cryptos. Like, what an incredible time to be alive. I think this is going to lead to this is the opening of the floodgates to give institutions easy access to cryptocurrency, and it's going to bring a lot of cash into the space. A lot of that's going to land in the pockets of the fund managers like Grayscale, BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise. These guys are going to be in control of a lot of this. So the question then is, how are they going to continue to rehypothecate their products and take all the margin, or are they going to, use some of that capital inflow to help also boost the price to keep the bull going longer? Right. That would be really exciting if they would, if that's part of their battle plan or strategy. I was looking at the, here you can see the volumes for day one of the ETH ETF. They're $458 million was on just the ETH Grayscale. That might have been outflows, right? And I don't know if these are all outflows, but that figure, I'm almost 100% that was outflows, $458 million. And then BlackRock and Fidelity did a combined about looks like about 400 million. And leading into this day, there was like $1 billion of ETH deposited on Coinbase Institutional from BlackRock and an additional $1 billion from Grayscale. So, it's all prepping for the big volume and stuff that came in. So this was not as big of a success as the Bitcoin ETF so far, but it's just a beginning. So it's excited to see where this goes. The Bitcoin treasuries.net here. I was going to bring this up just for the sake of showing you guys how much Bitcoin they actually have. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Not me. Ewok,
no.
you piping up?
No, I'm
go
good.
ahead. You're good.
No,
You're good.
You're good.
Check this out. Like there's so the iShares Trust. This is the Bitcoin trust from BlackRock. They have 334,000 Bitcoin. And kind of my thought process here is that's not enough to fully control the Bitcoin market yet. So, and the reason why I think that is because you could say there's about 7 million free float Bitcoin out there. And so, yeah, a lot of the supply has been snatched up and most people are going to hold it. So, man, isn't that crazy that even with these kinds of numbers, Grayscale holding 272,000, Fidelity has 181,000, ARK has 50,000. It's still not enough. And it's pretty, I would say, in terms of big whales, like of different kinds, like you got governments that hold, like the US government is the biggest government that holds right now, currently 213,000. So I still think there's opportunity for the institutions to not have full control yet, but still be in a position where they can recycle the money. Everyone remembers the ETH adoption amplifier and the recycling of the ETH to get all the hacks. Well, they could potentially recycle the profits from their ETFs back into the market to help, create shortages and boost prices a lot longer than I think people think. And so this kind of leads nicely into potentially a longer cycle. At least that's kind of what I'm seeing. But yeah, what do you guys think?
That's crazy to look at that. And, just knowing that this ETH ETF is now live, I don't feel like we had any kind of front running. Normally when things like this, when Bitcoin was about to be approved, there was all kind of front running. So what's your opinion on why there wasn't as much ETH front running? I mean, I figured we would have been over 4,000 by now with just people trying to, get ahead of it. And and jumped the gun a little bit, but that didn't happen. It kind of went the other way.
Yeah, so we'd have to go back and see what happened. And this is kind of the action on the 4 hour. This was big. Let's look at what Bitcoin did when that, and not when that stuff was going down. This is kind of the price action we got, which is what you're referring to, where there was like a pump and then that wick high and then a complete dump, sell the news basically.
Well, that was the fake approval, right? I think like that's the day that there was that it's approved, and then SEC, somebody said our account was hacked. I think that's the day.
I remember that happening, but I don't remember when that was.
I don't think
Cointelegraph.
I could be wrong. Let's just say that I could be wrong, but I think this was the real launch. I think. And then it sold off hard into that, and everyone's like, "Oh, that was it. Sell the news event. It's over." For a while, and then people were like trying to play out that fractal from 2019 here at this point in the cycle, but that didn't happen. And it caught a bid down here. And I think that was because of the shortage of coins at that time. But anyways, my point was that went up before down. Yeah. And so I was theorizing that, wouldn't it be poetic if ETH just did the opposite and went down before up? It's kind of what I was thinking. But not massively, just, a little bit. So here's your front running, double bottom, clean, and then a nice, this funny because crypto does the opposite. So rising wedge, that's supposed to break down like this. But then you got the manipulation, right? The whales push it up, and then you get a distribution top leading into this event. And now you're going to probably come back down and test, maybe get a higher low, maybe it actually tests for a double bottom or something like that. But this is kind of what I'm seeing. It'll be short lived. It'll be down before up, essentially. And then because of the shortages in the supply, which we've covered before on your stream, there's we're basically at the lowest levels of ETH on exchanges since 2015. It's almost like at all-time lows.